Hello YouTube, back once again with my film reviews, and the other night I saw the new Star Trek movie, Star Trek Beyond, and, plot of this movie, it's a Star Trek movie, Kirk and the crew, they get a distress signal or meet a distressed alien who says there's been, like, her crew's been captured, and then they go to a planet where evil aliens are, and they fight them. It's a Star Trek movie. What can I say? Quickly, before I get into my review, let me just say my thoughts on other my connection and my thoughts on other Star Trek. I've never watched any of the series. I've never watched the original. I've never watched The Next Generation. Never watched any of it. I've only seen most of the more famous most of the movies. Mainly the more famous ones like The Wrath of Khan, The Voyage Home. I've seen all of the reboot movies. I saw the first one. I saw Into Darkness. And now here we are with Star Trek Beyond. And quickly, what I thought of the Star Trek reboot and Into Darkness. I thought they're both great. I thought they're actually were both worked as popcorn entertainment, and both actually were pretty clever and pretty intense action movies, and so here we are with Star Trek Beyond. So let me go into the good and bad of this. The good, well, let me just say right now, the cast is still amazing in this movie. I love the reboot cast. They're all so entertaining and charismatic. They all share great chemistry with one another. The cast of, that being the cast of Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, John Cho, sorry I have these written down, there's a lot. Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg, Anton Yelchin, and yes, let's clearly address the elephant in the room. There was the unfortunate passing of Anton Yelchin in the freak accident, and if you're wondering, no, there's no tribute scene to him in this movie because the movie was had already wrapped up shooting and was I think on its final edits before his passing, and because of that, we're hoping they're gonna do like a big tribute like they did for Paul Walker at the end of Furious 7. It's on this movie, but they do dedicate the movie to him in the credits. So what you gonna do? But the other cast member I want to talk about is Carl Urban as McCoy. This guy especially was amazing in this film. He was just a complete scene stealer in every scene he was in. You could tell he was having a blast. He had the best jokes in the movie. He always brought a smile to my face. He was just a joy from beginning to end. And I also want to tip my hat to the newcomer, Via Butella, I think that's how you say her name, the ninja assassin girl with the mechanical legs from Kingsman. She was also a blast in this movie. I really hope she keeps showing up in the future Trek movies because I thought she was a great addition to the cast. The special effects of this movie are great, as you would imagine for a Star Trek movie nowadays. The film, I gotta give this credit, is just a thoroughly entertaining adventure from beginning to end. The action's a lot of fun, the jokes are pretty funny, the characters, like I said, are incredibly likable. It's just a fun adventure from beginning to end, and I give credit to that, because God, how much the summer movies have been sucking this year just to be a fun adventure. It does say a lot considering what we've been getting recently. So, yeah, the film, like I said, is just a very fun adventure. So if you were worried that these movies were not going to be able to keep it together after losing J.J. Abrams as a director, don't worry, this film is a lot of fun. And, and I also want to say this movie does pay tribute to the passing of Leonard Nimoy in between movies. There is some very heartfelt scenes. They do not dance around the fact that he did die, and even though I do think they plan to have him in this movie, and yes, it did lead to some very heartwarming scenes, and it was very touching, all this stuff with Leonard Nimoy. So I gotta give the movie credit for that. Hopefully they'll do something for Anton Yelchin in the next Star Trek movie like that. So anyway, so yeah, that's the other movie. It's a fun adventure and the cast is amazing. What's the bad of this movie? The action sequences, they use way too much shaky cam. it's just the annoying shaky cam of just stuff will be happening. You'll just be wondering, what just happened from time to time, like with all the quick editing and like not being able to fully see what's going on. There will be more than once when it'll just be like, what just happened exactly? So that was pretty annoying. Idris Elba as the villain. I was surprised by this, because Idris Elba, he's usually such a good villain. He was really forgettable in this movie, in my opinion, especially compared to Benedict Cumberbatch in Into Darkness. Yeah, I just thought he was completely forgettable. I just thought he could have really put anyone into this role. He just needed a guy who could pretty much just sneer from beginning to end. Yeah, I thought Idris Elba was a bit wasted in the role. Also, and my big problem with this movie is this movie just feels really small scale and more lightweight compared to the first two reboots. And especially compared to Into Darkness. This just felt like it was just a random adventure these guys went on instead of like the first two, how like in the first reboot, it was like the grand reboot of the series that didn't just reboot it, but also tied it into the original Star Trek. Like and how in Into Darkness, like all of them almost died Into Darkness. Like they didn't have a plan. They kind of just survived by pure luck halfway through that movie, just for the fact that Simon Pegg was on board the enemy's ship. But besides that, though, besides that, just like this just did feel nowhere near as gritty or intense as the first two. This really just felt like if they ever did like a Star Trek TV show with this cast, this would have just been like an extended version of one of their episodes. But still, what's wrong with that? Still, like I said, it's still thoroughly entertaining from beginning to end, and honestly, I don't have much more to say about this movie besides that. This movie really is just a very in-and-out, really entertaining action-adventure, and that's about it. Like, nothing super thought-provoking or anything like that, just or intense, like, Into Darkness, like when, with all, like, how, like, you were really questioning who's the real villain in all this. It's just pretty much, there's a clear bad guy, there's a clear goal, the climax is a lot of fun, though. I gotta give credit to that. The climax is a blast. It's just a bunch of likable characters running around shooting and beating the shit out of each other, and yeah, so on the whole, I'm giving Star Trek Beyond a very solid 3.5 out of 5. I really liked it. It's like I said, it is just a very fun adventure with a very likable cast. But I will say though, out of the now the first three reboot films, I would say this was definitely the least of all of them, but still, like I said, still a lot of fun. I recommend go seeing this. Yeah, if you were worried that these movies would really start sucking after the loss of J.J. Abrams after he went to go start working on the new Star Wars movies, don't worry. This property is still clearly in some very good hands. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say about Star Trek Beyond. YouTube, as always, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.